The guitar riff is just so good. Alright, so I wanted to talk today about Dragon's Dogma 2 before I get into the game, because I'm having a great time. I just want to talk about it real quick. I want to nerd out a little bit. This is my impression so far with Dragon's Dogma 2, okay? Is the story good? No. The story is not good. The story is, I would say, about as bad as Breath of the Wild was. Now, you might be saying, I thought Breath of the Wild was a good story. You were wrong. Okay? You're wrong. The story in this game is pretty much not the main focus. Just like how Breath of the Wild story isn't really the main focus. The main focus in this game is really exploring and adventuring. And the story, if you get one... Did I just disconnect? Am I good? We good on stream, guys? We good? I think we're good. So, the story in this game is very bleh. Very bleh in general. Not a big deal, not a huge deal, but the thing that really hooks in this game for me is the lore. Now, if you don't know what I mean by story versus lore, lore is kind of like the backdrop, the thing that like supports the story itself. Like, the story would be like a character in the story and what's going on with that character and how that's going. The lore would be like, what are the foundations of creation? Who are the deities? What's going on with dragons in this world? Why are pawns the way they are? Things like that. That shit is top notch in this game. And if you start digging into shit from the first game and then correlating it to this game, dude, brain explosion. So to say that this game's story is awful is fair, but not 100% on point. The lore is fantastic. The world building that this game does, and this series did, is phenomenal. Because anytime the game gets your brain going, oh, how does this work? How does that work? I want to know more about this. And not necessarily what's going on in the story, but more about like how everything works in the background. And when you start looking at that, you realize that actually the things that are going on in the background, the lore of the game, is actually the story. That's the actual story. That's what's actually going on. So you can ignore the main plot of the game completely. It's not important. The background shit is the most important stuff. Like what? Like why is there need to be an arisen? Why is there a dragon of the apocalypse? Why is there seem to be a loop happening every so often? What are pawns? What? Does the dragon give birth? Why are there drakes all over the place? That doesn't make any sense. Because the dragon of the apocalypse just kind of like pops out of nowhere, it seems. And then kills people and then picks someone to kill it. He picks someone to kill himself. Isn't that fucking wild when you think about it? So right now I'm trying to figure out, okay, why does the dragon want me to kill him, and why did he make me to kill him? That doesn't make any sense. Also, why do the pawns are the only ones that get the dragon plague? Why do the pawns only get the dragon plague? Where are the pawns? Where do they come from? What other world do they exist in where their only purpose is to serve an arisen from another dimension? There's something wrong with that, fundamentally. And the drakes are crazy. Like, every time they talk to you, they're like, my heartless brother. I'm like, bitch, what do you mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that we're related? Like, you have a heart, I can hear it beating. So you're not heartless. So it's not like you're an arisen from another dimension who's going through the same thing that I am. So I think the drakes are pawns. That's just my big fucking guess, because Dragon's Plague essentially makes your pawn go crazy and kill everyone. I'm assuming Drakes are just pawns who went crazy and turned into dragons. That's why I assume happens, and I assume the dragon himself spread the plague initially. I don't know why he did. The biggest confusing thing is, like, why is there a cycle of death and rebirth that seems to happen with the dragon and the Arisen? It doesn't make any sense. Because if you just wanted to end the world, Mr. Dragon, why are you making an opposition to fight? Just because you like to fight? I don't get it. So hopefully we can figure that all out as we progress. But basically, the story at the moment, 5 out of 10. The lore, 10 out of 10 lore. The lore is fantastic. It's what makes me excited about D&D, is the foundations of which you build your characters in D&D. If this was a setting, this would be sick. This would be a sick fucking D&D setting. And I would have a great time with it. Now, the main selling point is not the story. It is the exploration, which is 10 out of 10. If you see a hill in the background, and you think, I wonder if there's anything up on that hill, or is it just for, like, show? More than likely, 9 out of 10 times, you can get up there at some point with something, whether it be levitate from your mage, some weird jumping tactics with your pawn. Some way, somehow, you can get up to that spot and you can find the thing. The exploration is fucking fantastic, because it makes you think, oh, maybe there's something here. The only thing that I think would improve this game is a little bit more mystique as far as where, like, things are. Like, one of the things that Elden Ring does that I absolutely love, that I wish this game did, is hidden walls, like magical hidden walls. There's a lot of places that look like they should be a hidden wall, but they're just not. And the places that are hidden walls, they're not hidden that well. Like, it's very obvious it's breakable. It's very obvious that there's box stacked up here and there's a back area. Like, it's not very, it doesn't trick you. It doesn't make you go, oh shit! It doesn't, like, open up your brain and start thinking, oh my god, was there, like, a wall in the beginning of the game that I missed? Like, that doesn't happen, right? Although, as you play the game, things phase. Like if a wall was closed, maybe because the griffin you got killed in the very beginning of the game, the griffin that you ride over that got killed, it falls down, people go to harvest its parts, and, like, over time the game phases. That cave is now open. Now you go back to where that griffin was lying down. The griffin's been harvested, and now his body's gone, he's no longer blocking the cave, you can go into the cave. Like, things like that are in the game, but not hidden walls, and I think hidden walls would be just fucking neat in this game. I think it should have happened. Don't know why it didn't, but I think it should have happened. To continue, the gameplay is the #1 selling point of this game. The gameplay is phenomenal. I don't know of any combat that even comes close. Now, when I say that, I mean as far as how your character plays and how the mechanics of those abilities work together and how those abilities work with your pawns is phenomenal. Obviously, Elden Ring being able to parry and block and dodge and all that stuff really has a very interconnected gameplay. Same with, like, Sekiro, where your parrying ability is the game. That's the game, right? You parry, you block, whatever. This game is very gameplay spectacle and thinking intelligently, because there's a lot of, like, intelligent abilities, like for instance, the only people who can parry are, I believe, the fighter and the warrior. No one else can parry, okay? The only people who can really effectively dodge is the thief. The thief are the only ones who can really dodge, like, actually use a button to dodge. The other classes are built to be in their strength, so if you're playing like a caster, you should stay in ranged and levitate away and get away from your target so that it can't attack you. Those interactions make every single vocation you play feel extremely unique, because no one else has that move set, that play style. And since no one else has that playstyle, when you swap to your rogue, you're like, oh, okay, I'm playing Dark Souls. I can roll, or I can dash. Oh, I'm playing Sekiro. I'm playing a warrior. I can parry people, and it's very rewarding to parry. And it feels really good. But then, like, the RPG aspect of, like, World of Warcraft or other MMOs comes in and just props up the game, where every single thing you do and every upgrade you get makes you feel so strong. And every class has their own thing that makes them so powerful that you constantly are assaulted with this feeling of brand new game. Every time you swap locations and experiment, it's like you're playing a whole new game, and you get to experience a different section of this game that you never would have experienced before. So like right now, when we go to play this game, I'm on a hunter, or I'm playing a ranger, I'm sorry, and the gameplay is so different from, like, the thief, and so different from the fighter, and so different from the warrior, and the sorcerer, and the mage, and all these other characters I've played, that it's just constantly fresh. I never feel stale. So I would advocate, if you do end up picking up this game and you do like the game, play all the vocations. Take your time, do the side quests, get the Meister abilities, and just enjoy your time. Because this game is a solid 9 out of 10 so far. I can only assume it gets better. I am only, as I said, in Vermund. I have not left the starting zone. I have basically done a ton of side quests. I've gotten several Meister abilities, but I have not left and gone to Bakhbatal yet. I know Bakhbatal is a big deal. I know there's like a southern volcanic area I need to go to. I know that there's like a seashore place. I don't know the context behind it, but I know there's a seashore place. I know that there is a northern area. I have been to the elves, met them, they were cool. But there's like a vast northern area. I know that there's a thing, possibly there's a post game that's really fun too and really engaging. And I have barely scratched the surface of what makes this game special. And if that doesn't sell you on this game, I don't know what will. But it is a fantastic experience. Highly recommend it. Difficulty curves very low for people who do not like or are very bad at games like this. This game is like, do you want to start playing RPGs? Awesome. You can play this one, have a good time. Like, this is a very good introduction. I'd say this is a step up from Breath of the Wild. It is a massive step down from Elden Ring as far as difficulty goes. So if you're trying to like the progression of like what to play, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, this game, and then maybe like Elden Ring and then Sekiro. Okay? If you want like a progression of difficulty, that's where my brain is sitting right now. It's directly in the middle, in a perfect spot to keep you going and keep you addicted to games like this. So if you have had a hard time getting into Elden Ring, get into this first. If you've really liked Tears of the Kingdom, you're gonna really like Dragon's Dogma. You need to give it time. I'd say about 2 hours into the game is when everything just kind of clicks. Everything just starts to latch into your brain and slot into spot, and you're like, oh my god, there's so much I can do in this game. Anyway, so that's my little review before we start. But let's go. Let's continue on from where I was.